So now the three main types of logs equations and how to solve them, different techniques. So the most basic one is this one here, where the x, or something to do with x, has had log to base 5 done to it. And we want to release it from that situation so that we just have the x add 2 back. So we're going to do the opposite of log to base 5 to both sides of this equation. And the opposite of log to base 5 is 5 to the power of, and we're going to apply that to this 4, so it'll be 5 to the power of 4, and then obviously we just take away that 2, I don't know what 5 to the 4 is, and that's the answer. So that's a nice simple basic definition type of solving a log equation. Slightly more complicated when we have two different logs here, and particularly this is a problem because we've got different bases. If it was the same base, then we could just use the rule where log A add log B is log A times B, but that only works when these bases are the same. So first thing I'm going to do is change this base to a 2, because I want it to be a 2 to match that. So remembering how to change a base, you draw a fraction line, you write log 2 on the top, I want 2 because it's going to match that, and log 2 on the bottom. The 4, the thing I was taking the log of before, that goes on the top, and the x, the thing that was the base, that goes on the bottom. So now that I've changed the base, this is looking a little bit messy, so to make it look a little bit nicer, I'm just going to, instead of log to base 2 of x, I'm going to write y, and this is a trick you'll see used in logs equations quite a lot, just to make the structure more obvious. So what have we got? We've got log to base 2 of 4. Instead of 4, I'm just going to write 2 squared there. Divided my log to base 2 of x, which I've decided to call y. Add my y equals 3. Now what can I do? I can pull this 2 down here, and then I'll have 2 log to base 2 of 2, and log to base 2 of 2 you should know and recognise straight away as being 1. So this equation simplifies quite nicely to 2 over y, add y is 3, which if I times everything by y would give me, no it won't give me 2, if I times everything by y it will give me 2 add y squared equals 3y. So I've turned it into a quadratic, which is nice. So if we're going to take this quadratic over here and try and solve it, so what's my quadratic say? Y squared minus 3y add 2 is 0, which I can factorise. Y minus 2, y minus 1 is 0, so that gives me y is 2 or y is 1. But you must remember that in the original question here, what we're trying to find is x. There's no y in this equation. I made y up over here. So I need to go back to this and use what y actually is to find out what x is. So I'm just going to do that now. I've got log to base 2 of x is 2, or log to base 2 of x is 1. So to get my x's back out of these situations, to release the x from this log to base 2, I have to do the opposite of log to base 2, which is 2 to the power of, and I'm applying that to this 2 here. So log to base 2, 2 to the power of, applied to 2, so x is 4. Or, releasing the x from this situation, I've got log to base 2, the opposite is 2 to the power of, and this time applied to 1, so that gives me the other answer, which is 2. So I can't quite fit this all on one page, sorry, but there we go. That's the solution for solving this type of equation. Main thing is to change this base so that it matches the 2, and this trick is always good, of writing y instead of this. So last type here, this time it's good, I've got matching bases, but I've got this on the wrong side of the equation. So I need to move this to the other side of the equation, so that I can think about combining them together into one log here. The problem, the bases match up, that's good, but this 2 is in the way. So I'm going to have to move this 2. I can't use the rule log A minus log B is log A over B with that 2 there, so I need to move it up here. So I'll do that now. Log to base 2 of 2x minus log to base 2 of x minus 2 squared is 1. Now I can use the rule log A minus log B is log A over B. So I get log 2x over x minus 2 squared is 1. So that's looking a bit better. Now obviously I want to release this lot, from this log to base 2. So I'm going to do the opposite of log to base 2 to release this stuff here, and that's 2 to the power of 1, which is just 2. So now I've got an equation I should be able to solve. I'm going to times both sides by x minus 2 squared. Cancel these 2's. Expand out these brackets and put everything on the same side. Like that. And hopefully now I can quite easily solve this quadratic here by factorising minus 4 and minus 1. So x is 4 or x is 1. And in this case it was x that I was after. I haven't introduced a y or anything like that. So that's the answer, x is 4 and x is 1. Yeah, so that's pretty much the main types of logs equations and main types of techniques that you need in C2.